we're here at Startup Day Tokyo, and can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Sergio Arcos. I'm engineering manager of Money3, Japan. So we are a startup that we create services on top of institutions to connect to guests. So we are a platform connecting both, and we are offering more than the current companies they are offering. For example, an API, cloud connections, etc.
And where are you operating out of? So you operate in not just Japan, but...
We are operating in Japan and Australia, okay? Both of them, they are different markets, different challenges. Let's say that Japan is a bit more basic and Australia is a bit more complex.
And can we show people kind of what this looks like? Because
Sure.
I think the app really does speak for itself.
Sure, of course, please. So here is the staging environment. So there is no public information. We have the branch. So when you install the application, you have a passcode. We want to encrypt your data. Okay, so you have to add the password or the fingerprint. It depends how you configure. Okay, so here you have a first screen. This is telling you a little bit of the details of your application. There is a spinner that is updating your data every time you open the application. Then you have 4 tabs. Okay. The first one is for introducing manual stuff. Okay, you can add a new transaction. Okay, what you want to add into your accounts. The next one, personal, has 3 layers. This is the points. This is balances. Okay, it's overall, and spending. Okay, what happened last year, this year, etc. You can see even with categories. Okay, in the last year, you are spending more in taxi, in fees, whatever. This is a personal finance management. Okay, it's an application to know more about your stuff. You can even show some graphs about your data. Okay, so it's kind of cool when you are having month by month. Okay, so you can be your salary, where you are spending. This is kind of give you a little bit of idea what you are spending. Okay, of course you can go to accounts, you can add new ones, etc. Okay, so you can even list in each of the accounts. But at the end, normally in Japan, it's very interesting that people, they tend to have so many institutions, bank accounts, credit cards, etc. So this is very useful for the Japanese problem. Okay, and then we have work. This is we are offering a subscription for customers that they are work and corporate. Okay, big corporations, they have their own credit card. So we can connect to them, okay? And of course notifications that we are connecting, we are doing funnels for marketing to the guests, and we are offering information, what's happening. No, you can set the thresholds like well here not, but how you want to be notified, okay? So you can get the notification when you are spending this many, when you receive the salary, etc. And we are taking this to the next level.
Yeah, I love how you're able to aggregate. Pardon me. I love how you're able to aggregate all of these different financial institutions into one seamless application. So you're giving your customers access to have one view into all their financial transactions more.
Exactly. For the customers, it's very interesting because for them it's super simplified. They don't have to log in with the password every time to the bank, so they have to go to 5, 6, 7 banks, point cards, whatever. And for the big companies, that's also very interesting because they can provide to the same employees, people that they have. They can go more in the digital market, etc. We are using, as mentioned before, like OAuth, so they can get the information from the customer if the customer allows them to do that. We are a company that we are not driven by advertisement. We care a lot about the data of the user. We are super relying in the privacy. Okay, so the logo is the most trust fintech.
You talk about must trust, and so compliance is a big piece of it.
Exactly.
And I mean, you're here today at Startup Day, and you did a talk earlier on Fargate and ECS. Can you talk a little bit more about kind of why you chose Fargate?
Okay. Fargate, as you mentioned now, is for especially compliance. Okay, we are relying on technology that is well-proof. Okay, by Amazon. We want to focus on our value. We are the experts of fintech, not about technology, even we know. Here today we have been talking about what kind of mistakes have we seen with previous architectures and how we are solving these issues with Fargate. Okay,
And so why Fargate?
Fargate, because it's very similar to EC2, but without all the downs, all the trade-offs that has maintained an EC2. You have to maintain the machine, so you have to list that there is a hardware. Also, you have to do the patching for the operating system. You have to keep, if you are using Docker, Fargate Docker, you need to keep the agent up to date. And on top of that, you have so many AWS services that you can integrate very simply, like CloudFormation, AIM, all the CloudWatch with the logs, etc.
Okay, so it's a first-class citizen within AWS. You get access to all these other services within Amazon. Plus, you don't have to manage and maintain your Docker clusters.
Exactly, it was kind of a service that it appears because community, they wanted to use containers, and then Amazon, they catch up, no? And they started offering services that this is super easy for new startups, people that they want to go to time to market very quickly. So we just use that. In the moment that it was released in the re:Invent and we start knowing, and it came to Japan, we knew that in the new services, we wanted to start trying that. It happened with other services like Aurora, etc. We started using these services, these edge technologies. We learn, we ask to the team, and then we move on.
And has it increased developer velocity for your organization?
I think so. I think it has decreased the number of people you need for maintaining everything. I think it has increased the readability and the maintenance. That's super important. In the moment that you are tracking for incidents, for example, with the fintech companies, we need to care about that. It has been, a huge benefit. Especially, I mentioned in the talk, like I was able to prepare just a service with Fargate using a public container for Nginx with some very little customizations in some hours, and it was deployed for a client that was searching a technical solution, not a fintech. But we were able to release and charge for the service. Well, just because we had the services. If they would say, oh no, that doesn't fit with the organization, probably we'll have the client to do that piece of code. So Fargate has been useful in that case.
Well, thank you for giving us some insight. Clearly, in order to build a leading fintech company, you need to be using the latest technologies and services. So it's great to see that you and your engineering teams are leveraging that. And it's a beautiful product that you've created. So if somebody wants to find out more information, where do they go to learn about your company?
Moneytree.tp. Okay, this is the main web page. You can also go to getmoneytree.com. That is the Australian version. We're trying to combine them. But I will recommend to go there. Probably it's not going to be very useful if you are not in Japan, because we are keeping the Japanese institutions. The same if you are in Australia. As I mentioned, we are super careful with privacy. It means we have to keep the data from these customers in their own country. We just reply with Amazon in both places. Probably I would recommend to go to the webpage and search, dig in about that. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact us.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you very much.